Namaste and welcome back to Waking Up with Mindful Serenity Yoga. Today is the first day of May 2025 and I am continuing along with the concept exercise where I pull a concept from the jar and begin to discuss it impromptu. I've upped my time from 4 minutes to 5 minutes for 5 minutes, and the timer will go off after the 5 minutes once I begin answering the question. So it is just a concept, a pointer, an idea, a thought that's on a piece of paper, and of course that doesn't explain in full what the experience of that thing it is pointing to is. So it's just a pointer that we are discussing, the pointers, and maybe possibly what they are pointing to when we do this exercise. So without further ado, I will reach in and grab a concept. I will take a deep breath just to get that old ego back out of the way. And then I will read the concept. And the concept is reality. Reality. Imagine trying to talk about reality in 5 minutes. Reality. What is reality? Reality, of course, the word points to is what is real, right? It's pertaining to what is real. So what is real in this world? We look around us and I see this computer in front of me. It's solid. I can feel it. I can see the shape of it. I can, if I wanted to smell it, I could smell it. I could hear it. I can hear it humming at times. I can see myself reflected in it as I videotape this. Is this computer real? Is this reality? In materialistic sense, it is very real. To the materialistic mind and perception, it is very real. In fact, it is all that is real because it has matter, and matter is real. What is matter then? Matter is a series of molecules. If we look at the substance of this hard object here, this dense object here, a collection of molecules, when the molecules are simply a collection of atoms. The atoms are a collection of neutrons in the center, protons in the center, followed by rings of electrons around the center. And around these electrons and in between these electrons, we have a great deal of space. Is that reality? So if we break it down to the subatomic layer, is that the reality? Is that where reality ends? And the answer is no. Quantum physicists are showing, especially through the experiments done in CERN, that we go beyond that. In that space around these electrons, which makes up most of this matter that I'm seeing, because there's let's say 90% space and 10%, if that, is the actual molecular structure that we're seeing, right? Of that molecular structure, it's mostly space. So we're seeing this, and what is in this space? The space we're seeing, the quantum physicists are seeing are quarks and leptons, right? And bosons. And what are these bosons? When we look clearer and more directly at them, we see that they're just wavelets of energy. They're just little wavelets that are not particle matter yet. They're just waiting to become particle matter. So here we have at the essence of everything, waves in space. So this matter that I'm looking at, this sense of reality that I'm looking at in this computer, is basically just space wavelets vibrating at a certain energy, waiting to form matter or have created particle matter as I see it and experience it with my 5 senses. So what I'm seeing, what I'm experiencing, is what I'm putting into my 5 senses and interpreting with my mind. So they process through all my 5 senses, my sense of sight, hearing, taste, touch, my sense of smell, and they've entered my body through sensory neurons, and they've gone either to the spinal cord or to the brain, the thalamus, to be interpreted. And from there, they're sent to the hypothalamus so that I can have a reaction that will lead to a motor response. But there is so many more sensory neurons in my body than there are motor neurons for a reason, because I'm taking in this intake so that I can make sense of it and therefore have my experience of reality. So my experience of reality actually isn't even in the molecular structure or the vibrating energy at the basic layer of this computer. It's my interpretation of it in my mind. It's what my brain has done with it. The brain is not my mind. My brain is just a filter used in this body through which mind can pass. So here I have this interpretation of this computer being analyzed by my brain, and yet something else is experiencing the computer at a deeper level. What is that? What is that is experiencing this brain, therefore this body that you see, this mind with its thoughts and feelings? Look at this computer and make a judgment about what this computer is, whether it's real or not real. So what's real? Is it what I'm seeing, what I'm picking up with my five senses? Is it what my mind is doing with that information? Or is what real that which is observing this brain and body analyze the matter in front of me? Materialist, of course, would say the only thing that is real is matter. And an idealist would say, well, the only thing that is real is what's internal. But what do you think is real? And I guess that's what it comes down to when we look at reality. Just know that what we're seeing is a process, a never-ending process, not a noun, not a thing, but a process. And part of that process is how we interpret it and come to understand what reality is. Kind of complicated, isn't it? Yeah. Well, that's what I have to say about reality. I hope it makes a little bit of sense anyway. Namaste. Thank you for joining me.